king of German mercenaries.
Chapter 157 Election Platform. Marin and Prince Philip learned that at the end of December, before Christmas, all official Teutonic Knights would gather in Königsberg to hold a Teutonic Knights Congress and elect a new Teutonic Grand Master on the spot. Then, on New Year's Day in 1498, the new Grand Master would be formally sworn in. Now, it is already early December. Although Marin has spent a lot of money and has secured many people's support, many people are still full of uncertainty. Because, in the election of the Grand Master, they are certainly short of money. However, as a Teutonic Knight, they still hope to have a capable leader to lead the Teutonic Knights. Because, the situation of the Teutonic Knights is not very good at the moment. To their south is the powerful Poland, to their east is the powerful Lithuania, and to the north is the Livonian Knights who do not obey orders. Therefore, even if they had a vested interest in the matter, they were unwilling to choose an incompetent person to serve as their Grand Commander. Because if they chose a fool and defeated the Teutonic Empire, they would lose everything they had. Therefore, many neutral factions also value the ability of the Grand Master. At the very least, the new Grand Master must have the ability and determination to protect the interests of the Teutonic Kingdom. On December 23, all candidates will give a speech to all official Teutonic Knights in the square of Königsberg Cathedral, expounding their justice, courage, and policy program. Among them, the policy program is the most important. Because the policy program represents the direction of the Teutonic Knights in the next few years after the new Grand Master takes office. Therefore, even if many knights are not good at studying, they will pay great attention to it. Moreover, not all Teutonic Knights were bad at reading. After all knights were educated. Among the more than 800 knights, there were many knights who were good at reading and had sharp minds. A good policy program would also impress the smart Teutonic Knights. Although these smart Teutonic Knights have their own political factions and positions, they still have to consider the future of the country very carefully when deciding the future of the Teutonic Knights. If a candidate's policy program is too good, far better than other competitors, those smart knights, even those from the opposing camp, are likely to vote for him. Because a strong candidate is good for all Teutonic Knights, even if the Grand Master is from the hostile camp. After all, the so-called hostile camps are actually just different views. At most, they want to fight when they meet, but they don't want to kill each other. But once the Teutonic Knights decline, the Teutonic Knights may be killed by the Polish and Lithuanian coalition forces. Therefore, the campaign platform used in the election speech is very important. This campaign platform will directly reflect the candidate's future plans and directions, and will allow those smarter Teutonic Knights to see the level and ability of the candidate and influence the final number of votes. Therefore, even though they were secretly canvassing for votes, Marin and Philip attached great importance to this campaign platform. Prince Philip's ability is not very outstanding, but he has one advantage, that is, he listens to other people's advice. It is almost impossible for a prince who has been a monk since childhood and has never learned the strategy of governing a country to come up with his own election platform. In fact, there were few particularly wise Teutonic Grand Masters. Otherwise, the Teutonic Knights would not have been bullied so badly by Poland and Lithuania. Because, all the past Grand Masters were usually born in noble families, but they were trained as monks since childhood. These people were very devout in religion and very brave in battle. However, when it comes to strategy and vision, they are basically ordinary. Because, they were trained as monks since childhood, and rarely learned the strategy of governing a country. However, they were also knights since childhood, and their military literacy was good. At least, they would not cause any big trouble when commanding thousands of troops. For example, Prince Philip is both a monk and a knight. Although he did not learn statecraft like his two brothers, he learned a full set of basic military command knowledge. Of course, their military command knowledge is very low-end in Marin's eyes. Basically, people who have learned these things basically understand what to do on the battlefield, but they don't know why they should do it and how to do it better. The Teutonic Knights are now in crisis, and they hope that a powerful leader will emerge. Therefore, the campaign platform is very important during the campaign speech. If you speak too badly, you may be abandoned by your original allies. Because even if they accept your benefits, those knights still hope that someone with achievements will lead them. Marin and Prince Philip spent a lot of time studying the campaign platform and speech. Marin thought that because the prince's speech was addressed to a group of knights with well-developed muscles and relatively simple minds, it was unnecessary to use flowery words and quote classics. Instead, the words should be simple and plain, but they must accurately express what he wanted to say. If he spoke too mysteriously, those big knights would not understand. In addition, we must focus on two core issues to impress the knights. Of these two core issues, the first one is of course profit. In fact, since the 14th century, the knights have increasingly begun to pay attention to business. In addition, several cities in the Knights' Kingdom joined the Hanseatic League, which brought huge profits to the Knights' Kingdom. Many knights were keen to participate in commercial trade to make profits. As for the knights' bravery and bellicosity, they were gradually abandoned. This is also one of the important reasons why the knights lost to Poland in the Battle of Tannenberg. Because the knights gradually degenerated into businessmen, they were busy making money, who would have the heart to fight. For example, in the Battle of Tannenberg, the Teutonic Knights hired a large number of mercenaries and even some English longbowmen. At that time, the combat effectiveness of the knights had greatly declined. It can be said that many Teutonic Knights have degenerated into half-merchants and half-knights. In terms of combat effectiveness, they are far inferior to the knights of Germany and France. Therefore, they would absorb a large number of wandering knights from the German region to ensure that the knights still had combat effectiveness. Generally speaking, a formal Teutonic knight would often have a group of apprentice knights under him. Those with higher status would also bring a few formal knights, not Teutonic knights. For example, Kissling and Jules under Amsaw were both formal titled knights, but not Teutonic knights with voting rights. Until now, they are only formal knights and reserved Teutonic knights. However, these Teutonic knights who have degenerated into half-merchants attach great importance to profit. Therefore, Marin's generous spending will definitely help Prince Philip buy off many people. However, this is only one of the reasons. Spending cash is certainly attractive, but your policy agenda must also make their business better and make them more money. In this way, they will be more willing to vote for you. To this end, Marin's opinion was to vigorously support the commercial development of the Teutonic Knights and give the Teutonic Knights the green light to do business in order to please them and win votes. The second core issue is national security. Under the joint attack of Poland and Lithuania, the Teutonic Knights lost a large amount of territory and the country was in danger. Therefore, the Teutonic Knights also hope that a Grand Master will emerge who can strengthen military power and ensure national security. Therefore, in terms of military, the candidate must also propose a solution that satisfies the Teutonic Knights. Marin had thought about this a long time ago. He believed that the combat effectiveness of the Teutonic Knights had greatly declined and was no match for the Polish-Lithuanian Union. Therefore, for the sake of national security, the Livonian Knights, who were no longer obedient, should be brought together to help each other. In addition, allies should be sought to deal with Poland and Lithuania or one of them to reduce the pressure on the knights themselves. Finally, on the basis of vigorously developing business, more funds were obtained and a group of Swiss mercenaries were hired to help the Teutonic Knights resist external pressure. The Swiss mercenaries were the most sought-after mercenaries in Europe, with strong combat effectiveness. Moreover, the Swiss were very good at dealing with knights and cavalry. Coincidentally, the Polish and Lithuanian armies were mainly composed of heavy cavalry. Hiring Swiss mercenaries could just suppress the heavy cavalry of the two countries. Even the Polish winged hussars, who were known for their ability to attack infantry phalanxes, were only good at using their spears to attack infantry phalanxes armed with rifles with bayonets. If you asked the Swiss spearmen to try with their spears that were several meters long, who would have the longer weapon? Who would stab who first? It was obvious at a glance. Marin's combat advice was to let the Swiss mercenaries confront the Polish and Lithuanian cavalry head-on. The Teutonic Knights, on the other hand, would attack the Polish and Lithuanian battle formations from the flank or from behind. Of course, this was an arrangement made after the outbreak of the war. But during the campaign, it had to be made clear that you knew how to defeat the possible invading Poles and Lithuanians. Although Prince Philip couldn't think of these things himself, he was convinced by Marin's ideas and decided to copy them all. Because Marin proved his vision and ability with facts, Texel Island has a developed economy, otherwise Marin couldn't have so many gold coins, and good military strength. Moreover, Marin once defeated the most elite 8,000 knights of France with 3,000 or 4,000 ordinary infantrymen. Therefore, Prince Philip, who believed in Marin, decided to copy Marin's ideas completely, and then wait until the election day to read directly from the script prepared by Marin. Marin's above ideas were also fully reflected in Prince Philip's campaign platform. Chapter 158 The Dust Settles. On December 23, 1497, 2 days before Christmas, 820 Teutonic Knights gathered in the square of Königsberg Cathedral to vote and elect a new Grand Master. After several former senior deacons announced the election rules, 3 candidates took to the stage to give speeches. The first to take office was Prince Frederick. After taking office, Prince Frederick talked about the strength of the Duchy of Saxony and said that the powerful Duchy of Saxony would form an alliance with the Teutonic Knights to help fight against Poland. Moreover, he kept hinting that an alliance with the prosperous Saxony would bring great trade benefits. Marin curled his lips below. To be honest, Prince Frederick's speech was not bad, very deceptive. But, it was just very deceptive. It sounded good, but in fact it was not the case at all. Because Marin knew that the Duchy of Saxony would be mired in the resistance of the Frisian people in the future and would be unable to take care of itself, so how could it have the ability to support the Teutonic Knights, as for trade benefits? In the Hanseatic League, the Saxon business circle is stronger than the Prussian Livonia business circle. What's more, the Teutonic Knights currently only have 4 Hanseatic cities left. When the two are combined, it is clear who will dominate. It can be said that once the Saxon business circle and the 4 Hanseatic cities of Teutonia are combined, the beneficiaries are the Saxon Hanseatic merchants. It would be good for the Teutonic Hanseatic merchants to have a taste of the soup. After thinking about it, Marin wrote down these ideas on a piece of paper and handed it to Prince Philip. What are you doing? When I give my speech later, I'll expose his lies and reveal the truth. Will this offend the Saxons? Prince Philip hesitated. Because the Duchy of Clever and the Count of Mark combined were far less powerful than the Duchy of Saxony. What are you afraid of? The Saxons are about to be trapped in the Frisian resistance. Moreover, the powerful Duchy of Guedes is also eyeing Frisian. As long as the Duke of Saxony is not stupid, he will not offend your family. So, feel free to say it boldly. Tell everyone that the Saxon army will be trapped in Frisian and will be targeted by the Duchy of Guedes. Therefore, they will not be able to help the Teutonic Knights. Okay. Prince Philip nodded. Prince Frederick's speech really moved many people, especially some neutrals. The Saxon Teutonic Knights applauded vigorously to cheer for their young master. The second candidate was from Switzerland, but he abstained from voting. Although he had signed up, he did not participate in the end. This was because he realized that even if he ran for election, few people would vote for him. Then, the third person didn't come either. The fourth person was William of Austria, who was bribed by Marin. Surprisingly, this guy was quite good at giving speeches. When he came to the stage, he first showed the emblem of the Habsburg family, which stunned the crowd. Although the Habsburg family was boycotted by nobles from all over the country, the Swabia and Saxony regions did not boycott because they were allies of the Habsburg family. Moreover, some nobles in the Franconia region were on good terms with the Habsburg family. Of course, even if the knights in the Saxony region did not oppose the Habsburg family, they would not vote for others when their own prince was present. However, the knights in the Swabian region were a little confused. Because they had initially agreed to vote for Frederick, Prince of Saxony, but later William stepped in and quietly persuaded some people to vote for him instead. Of course, even if he spent money, William's speech had to be convincing enough to prove that he was capable of doing the job of Grand Master. Otherwise, the Swabian knights who had made an appointment might go back on their word. William was quite clever. He first revealed his identity as a member of the Habsburg family. Although this would lose the support of most of the knights in the principalities that were against the Habsburg family, it made the knights in the emperor's allied regions begin to hesitate. Most of the knights of the Teutonic Knights came from the German region. Therefore, the Teutonic Knights have developed to the present day and can be called the German Knights. In any case, William was a member of the Habsburg family, although the emperor might not know about his collateral branch. However, some knights from the emperor's allied principalities had to consider it. Because their families still have to live in the vassal states, so they must be careful not to go against the vassal states in their hometown. Moreover, with the help of the master of forgery, Marin, William also showed some people the emperor's handwritten letter of introduction. With the emperor's recommendation, the Teutonic Knights in Swabia and some Franconia regions had to think twice. What confused these people was that the Prince of Saxony had told the Teutonic Knights of Swabia that the emperor supported him. Therefore, some Swabian knights began to be confused. In fact, the emperor did support Prince Frederick. Because Saxony was now an important ally of the emperor. However, the emperor did not issue a letter of introduction to Prince Frederick. But William brought a forged letter of introduction from the emperor. Therefore, some Swabian knights were persuaded. In addition, William also gave bribes. William's speech on economic development was not very brilliant, but he did clearly express his support for business development and encouraged everyone to make money. In terms of military, William trumpeted the power of the Habsburg family. Moreover, a crucial point is that William told everyone that if the Habsburg family was chosen, the emperor could warn Poland in the name of the head of Germany to restrain themselves and not bully the Teutonic Knights. At this point, Marin couldn't help but applaud William. Speaking of which, Maximilian I was also the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. Poland really needed to think twice before the emperor came forward to negotiate with Poland. Moreover, as an emperor, he could indeed give legal support to the Teutonic Knights. Of course, these promises seemed beautiful, but they were all false. Moreover, William was not a representative sent by the Habsburg family. However, others didn't know. Especially those Teutonic knights in Swabia, who were in great entanglement. After William left, 2 more candidates took turns, they both abstained from voting. Finally, it was Prince Philip who took the stage. After Prince Philip took the stage, he opened the speech prepared by Marin. As soon as he took the stage, Philip fired at Prince Frederick. Just now, I listened to the speeches of the 2 previous speakers and was deeply touched. Of course, I also have some different opinions on what the 2 previous speakers said. For example, I don't agree with what Prince Frederick said, that the Duchy of Saxony can provide military support to the Teutonic Knights. As far as I know, after the Duchy of Saxony conquered the Frisian Republic a while ago, it did not capture the 9 original Frisian parliamentarians, but let them run away. As a result, in the days to come, these 9 original Frisian nobles may continue to incite the local people to rebel. Therefore, I conclude that it will be difficult for Saxony to withdraw troops to support the Teutonic Kingdom. Prince Frederick was not happy about this. He stood up and loudly retorted, the resistance of the Frisians is not worth mentioning. They are no match for the Saxon army of tens of thousands. Prince Philip glanced at his rival and said slowly, Saxony is certainly not afraid of just these 9 local nobles, but I heard that the Duchy of Guedes in the south of Frisia has long been eyeing the Frisia region. What if these 9 people go to the Duchy of Guedes and get the support of the Duke of Guedes? I think the possibility of this happening is very high. Therefore, Frisia will not have a peaceful life in the future. And the Duchy of Saxony will have to put a lot of energy there, and it is impossible for it to have the energy to help the Teutonic Knights. Prince Philip spoke with such certainty that the centrists who had supported Prince Frederick at first became hesitant. Prince Philip then continued, let's talk about this economic policy again. Prince Frederick said he wants to cooperate with the Hanseatic merchants in Saxony. But everyone knows what the current situation is. Right now, there are only 4 Hanseatic cities left in the Teutonic Knights, and the business has shrunk drastically. Compared with the Hanseatic merchants in the Saxony business circle, our merchants are completely unable to compete with them. It would be great if both sides could communicate on an equal footing. But I'm afraid that the Hanseatic merchants from Saxony will take advantage of our weakness to swallow up our market and eat into the interests of the Teutonic merchants. After all, they are too powerful now, and we are a little weak. After saying this, Prince Philip glanced at Prince Frederick with ill intent according to the script provided by Marin. Boom, the Teutonic Knights below started to discuss. Before, they only thought about the benefits of trading with Saxon merchants, but never thought that Saxon merchants might annex them and eat into their profits. Now that they think about it, it's quite scary. Prince Frederick was so angry that his eyes were blazing with fire, and he wanted to go up and chop Prince Philip. The 2 points that Prince Philip criticized him for did impress the Teutonic Knights. However, if the Teutonic Knights were impressed, Prince Frederick would be greatly affected. Then, Prince Philip began to read his speech at his leisure, expounding on his campaign platform. Prince Philip's economic measures are not very impressive. However, Prince Philip repeatedly emphasized that he must be economically independent and give priority to family members in all good things. This is in line with the tastes of many Teutonic Knights who are engaged in business. As for military measures, the plan of hiring Swiss mercenaries was also more acceptable. In comparison, this measure was much better than Prince Frederick's method. Because, it is better to rely on yourself to become stronger than to rely on an ally like Saxony. Because an ally may save you when you are in trouble, or may not save you, it is completely unpredictable. Moreover, when the Teutonic Kingdom is in trouble, Saxony is also far away. By the time Saxony gathers a large army to come to the rescue, the Teutonic Kingdom may have been destroyed. Prince Philip also improvised and clarified this point. Prince Philip believed that only the strength of one's own army was the most practical. The Teutonic Empire could not mobilize the army of its allies, and it was difficult to influence it, and it was far less reliable than its own army. Moreover, Marin also pointed out to Prince Philip in his speech that Swiss mercenaries are very good at dealing with heavy cavalry. The main combat power of Poland and Lithuania is heavy cavalry. Therefore, using Swiss mercenaries can completely suppress the opponent. In order to strengthen the persuasiveness, Philip also took out the Battle of Nancy where Charles the Bold died as an example and told it to the Teutonic Knights. Although the story of knights being defeated by infantry sounded harsh to the Teutonic Knights, they also knew that it was the truth. In the end, Prince Philip's speech was a great success. The centrists who had received money but were worried that Prince Philip's speech would fail and that he was incompetent also made up their minds to support Prince Philip. Finally, the voting begins. There is no doubt that the Saxon knights voted for Prince Frederick, and the knights of the Westphalia-Rhineland alliance also voted for Prince Philip. As for the centrist knights, a different situation occurred. Most of them had been bribed by Marin, and Prince Philip's speech was very exciting. Therefore, these people voted for Prince Philip. However, a small number of people, mainly 10 Austrian knights, voted for William because of his identity as a member of the Habsburg family. William was also confused. I'm just here to make a cameo appearance, okay? Why did you vote for me? I didn't even look for you before. This was also the negligence of Marin and William. Other regions were fine, but Austria was the home of the Habsburg family. How dare these Austrian Teutonic knights not vote for the person introduced by the emperor? Fortunately, most of the Austrian knights were absorbed by the Habsburg family, and not many came to the Teutonic knights to make a living. Otherwise, William would have needed more votes. The most surprising thing was the Franconian-Swabian League. Of course, the Franconian knights cast the vast majority of their votes for Prince Frederick, but there were differences among the Swabian knights. Due to the emperor's face and the gold coins that Marin sent to William, some Swabian knights actually voted for William. Moreover, there were quite a few Swabian knights who voted for William, about 30 in total. Although this proportion was not high among the hundreds of Teutonic knights in Swabia, it benefited Prince Frederick from a lot of votes. In the end, Prince Philip received 390 votes. Prince Frederick received 388 votes, losing to Prince Philip by a narrow margin of 2 votes. As for the remaining 42 votes, they were all taken by William. Seeing the final result, Prince Philip and Marin both breathed a sigh of relief. Unexpectedly, William not only took away a batch of votes from Swabia, but also took away some votes from the neutral party, causing Prince Philip to almost fail. But in the end, Prince Philip won the election and was successfully elected as the new Grand Master. He will be officially sworn in after the new year. Seeing that the dust had settled, Marin's tense nerves could finally relax. Next, Marin had to plan how to recover the cost. In this election, Marin spent more than 80,000 gold coins on Prince Philip, which was a huge investment. You know, many earls of the counties may not have so much annual fiscal revenue. This time, Marin really spent a lot of money. Therefore, next, Marin needs to discuss with Prince Philip how to make him provide more convenience so that he can earn back the investment.